Okay, it's stating I am live. Second video this morning. Okay, I gotta say, I'm doing this video for one because I had pretty much cleaned up here this morning. uh, another point is, don't mind my coughing, excuse me, but America is collapsing in front of our eyes. Now, I'm gonna pretty much go into a few things that I had spoke about on my last video and the video before that. I had spoken about the 3 days of darkness. I don't claim to be a prophet, as I had said during that video. Is that there were many claims from people that the 3 days of darkness was going to happen. Like I had stated, there was a possibility that did not happen. Excuse me. Um, and I'm sorry I even posted anything about that, but it was such a big thing on YouTube, and since I am a Christian man, who's to say that it couldn't have happened? But it didn't. So that's, I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing, but that did not happen. Now, there's a couple other things I want to get to here on American freedom fighters. And I want you people to do your own research. And I want you to realize that we are being kept in the dark by our government. I'll go back to the point where I can go back to when Charlie Kirk was assassinated, for one. Now, there's a lot of people that put that man down and joking about him being unalive and stuff like that, which is sad. It's very, very sad that people celebrated that man being assassinated. What has happened with the people in this country? This used to be a strong country, a Christian nation, where we all came together. We all cared about each other. We were proud to be American citizens. And unfortunately, we did have it right back in the 60s and the 70s with peace and love. The rock and roll and the drugs part was all part of it as well, but we did have a good way of trying to bring everyone together. We did believe in peace. Even though I'm a Vietnam veteran, I still believed in peace, even though I fought to survive. And then when I came home from Vietnam, I was spit on and had stuff thrown at me and things of that nature. I get a lot more respect today than I did back then, but I could see why people reacted the way they did back then. Because we were a peaceful generation back then. We didn't want war. We wanted everybody to get together, to love one another, to support this country because we were a strong Christian nation. We were a strong people. We believed in this country. You'll never find another country like this. And if it collapses, and if we fail now as a people in this country, you will never find another country like this. Now, as far as the Charlie Kirk situation, I'm going to tell you right now that the our government is never going to tell us the truth about that. That's another big cover up where it's going to be similar to the John F. Kennedy assassination. It'll be over 75 years before you hear anything about what happened. Is it a good thing? I don't think so. Because our government is hiding something that we all wanted to know. Similar to the Epstein files that we wanted to know. We wanted to know who was on that list. And I got a damn good feeling that it was most of our politicians in our government and a lot of big elite people that were also involved in that. Now, this country is collapsing. It's turning to shit before our eyes. When I grew up and after I got out of the service, I was proud to be an American. I was happy to be a Christian man. I have faith in the good Lord Jesus Christ, and I love the good Lord Jesus Christ. God strike me dead now if he thinks that I am not true to the Lord Jesus Christ. I always have been, and I've had him guide me in my life. In everything I do, even in my travels, where I go. Now, unfortunately, we're in a situation now where our government continues to send billions upon billions of dollars to all these other countries. Who is that money going to? Well, it's going to these other nations to take care of the people of those nations. Why are we supplying weapons of mass destruction to these countries? Well, we want peace. But it's coming at a price that we're the ones that are hurting by it. We're sending, like I stated, billions of dollars to these countries to take care of their people, take care of their wages, their retirement, and all that stuff. But what happened for us? What's going on that our government is not taking care of we, the American people? Is it these big elites, as well as the politicians, that have forgotten that we, the people, are the ones that are in charge? Are they forgetting that we, the people, are the ones that are paying their salaries? We're the ones that are voting for these politicians to be in office. We are their constituents, that they are in office because we put them in office. I also believe that our government, and you can read our Declaration of Independence, our Constitution, and our amendment rights that state that they are not supposed to be making a career out of being a politician in our government. They were supposed to run their term, then get out of our government and go back to a normal way of living a life in this country. Not to be a politician for life. And we also used to have a thing called the Warner Act, which prevented people from foreign countries to come into the United States of America and run as a politician in our government. The Warner Act was to keep foreigners out of our government because of the exact thing that is going on today. You have Ilhan Omar, that is a traitor. I had to think of the proper words. She's a traitor to this country and the American people. She has specified to the Somalian people that she will fight for the Somalian people in the United States. And her president is not President Trump, but is the Somalia president. Now, President Trump was in Somalia, and he had mentioned to their president that he wanted to send Ilhan Omar back to Somalia. And he said he didn't want her back in his country. So that must tell you a little something, huh? Also, Talib is another one. These people don't belong in our government. Trust me, they really don't. If Donald Trump, and I know he's a very intelligent man, I would expect him as an American citizen, as a senior citizen, I would expect him to reenact the Warner Act. and to eliminate these people out of our government. Now, because of these people, we have an issue with now a government shutdown. Now, during this government shutdown, our Democratic politicians, the Democratic administration, they have got this government shut down because they want over $1.5 trillion to take care of these illegal immigrants that they brought into this country and allowed to flow into this country illegally so they could take care of their housing, take care of their food, take care of their monthly bills, clothing, cell phones, and who knows what else. Now, I have seen more than I want to see as far as illegal immigrants working jobs that Americans should be working. I had a few that were here that worked for Spectrum. They were connecting cables lines for these fiber optics in this area, and they just so happened to had disconnected my service. Well, when my service went out, I went out and I talked to them, and I was telling them, "You disconnected my service," and he said, "Call Spectrum." I says, "You're here. You disconnected me. Connect me." And he says, "Call Spectrum." He says, "I speak little English. I don't understand." At that point in time, I should have just called ICE and had him come here and grab them guys and have them deported. Even Ron DeSantis here in Florida wants these illegal immigrants out of this state. I have also seen at a couple of local stores near me Muslims that are walking around and purchasing items. I want to let you Muslims know a couple things here. This is a Republican state here in Florida. We don't want Muslims in our state. We will eliminate you one way or another. Or you can kindly pack up your crap and get out of our state. Now, I may get a strike for being so strict on here, but this is my opinion. But it's also Ron DeSantis, our governor's opinion, that he doesn't want illegal immigrants in our state. That goes for any illegal immigrant. And for the Muslims, we will not put up with a mosque in Florida. We will not put up with any Sharia law. We refuse to accept it in this state. Now, my next venture that I'm going to get into is who are you going to vote for in these coming up elections? may I suggest not voting for a Democrat? These people 40 years ago used to be for the working man, the working class people. And they totally did a roundabout, and now they're for illegal immigrants, anything that's evil. They pushed and fund Antifa and Black Lives Matter. They are for all the evil that's going on in this country. And they want Sharia law too. They want these people to infiltrate our country. They want Sharia law in this country, which is sinister, cynical, devilish, evil. We don't need that in this country. This is a Christian nation. We want to be God loving and God fearing people. We all want to be working together. We don't want the division that this Democratic Party is causing. So, why are you not going to receive your SNAP benefits here in November? Well, it's not because of Donald Trump. Donald Trump said right out he will not give the Democratic administration over $1.5 trillion to take care of these illegal immigrants with health care and housing and so on and so forth, as I have specified. I wouldn't vote for a Democrat if you paid me to vote for a Democrat. I wouldn't do it. These people are turning into evil. They allowed all these illegal immigrants into this country so they could never lose a presidential election. Thank God President Trump won this last election. Do I agree with everything Trump is doing? No, I don't. The first term he ran, I was glad that he ran. I was happy for everything that he had done. This time around, not so much. He seems more like a politician now than ever before. I can understand wanting peace around the world. I can understand making America great again. But it's not as great as what I would expect. Our fuel prices are still pretty high. Just a little under $3, $2.99. I've seen it as cheap as $2.88 or $2.89 a gallon, but not much less. Our food prices are out of control. Like I had stated in my last video, 1 pound of ground beef is more than the average wage of between $7.50 and $10. It's a working wage. So you're working an hour of your day to possibly buy 1 pound of ground beef. It's sickening, really. And chicken and pork is right up there as well. I cannot believe that I spend $11 for 1 pound of bacon, over $11 actually, for 1 pound of bacon. These food prices are making it hard for anybody to try and live a normal life, to eat properly. Now, you got Robert F. Kennedy Jr. that's trying to help our food to be healthier. But we have a problem. Houston, we have a problem. They're still not removing all the chemicals out of this food. They're still spraying the skies with the aluminum dioxide and other chemicals, including vaccines that they're also releasing into the air, which you're inhaling. You're breathing. Giving us health issues. It's poisoning our soil. So your crops aren't growing because the soil is poisoned. And then they're spraying more in the sky, and the vegetables that are growing are getting poisoned by these sprays. So they're poisoning your food with these chemicals. Besides that, now you have President Trump that had met with Bill Gates, who wants to be involved in vaccines and medical medicines and stuff like that. He's not a doctor or a pharmacist or knows anything about vaccines and stuff of that nature. But he's telling Donald Trump that he wants to go ahead and be a big part of that. We don't need him to have anything to do with our health, vaccines, medicines. I mean, he's an evil person. And then you also have Zuckerberg with Facebook, who is pushing this AI stuff. This is another thing that is not going to be good for us at all. Is AI running our government? Because all these things are happening very, very fast now. Your electric bills are sky high. Nobody's using any more electricity than they normally did, but yet their electric bill is going up and up and up and up. Donald Trump said that these AI companies could build their own electric facilities to generate their own power. But that hasn't happened. It isn't happening, and they're drawing our power, which hasn't been really fixed since the 1950s. And we're the ones paying double the price now on electricity. Your insurance costs are through the roof. Housing is through the roof. I mean, to rent an apartment, which should only average about $500 a month, now you're paying $1,500 to $2,500 or more for an apartment. As far as purchasing a house, well, that's way out of whack. Those prices are maybe okay for billionaires and the elites, but they don't they don't help the average American citizen. Your average American citizen makes between $30,000 and $70,000 a year. So even your rate to income won't help you purchase a three or $400,000 home. And you have vehicles that are costing $100,000. What the heck is going on here? I'm not happy about how I've seen things change in this country. Everything has gone sky high since and continuing to increase since 2017. We need a price reset, a wage reset, because everything, there's no more American dream. There's no way that we can survive at the rates of the increases in everything. How how are you doing? Like this stuff here on YouTube. These are people that are complaining and can't make ends meet. And it's really sad to see that you have young people in their 20s and 30s that are losing everything they own, and they're trying their damnedest to be successful. You have people that are out of work and are applying for many jobs, and they don't get callbacks on these jobs. And then they say, oh, well, the companies are just posting that they're hiring, even though they're not hiring. So, how does that help the American people? How are we supposed to live in this society, in this country, when the wages can't keep up with what the prices are? To me, it's un American. Now, with the shutdown, that's collapsing this country. Stock market that's crashing, Bitcoin's going down, silver's going up, gold's going up. What's that tell you? That tells you that the dollar bill is trash. If you have money in the stock market, I suggest that you cash out and buy gold and silver if you can, if you can afford it. It's getting to the point where now that the Democrats are keeping this country in a government shutdown, now the government isn't covering your SNAP benefits or Section 8 for those that receive Section 8. Me as a senior citizen, I was receiving SNAP benefits. Not a lot. Living on $157 in SNAP benefits a month. It doesn't go too far. But then I was lucky enough with my health insurance coverage that I get a couple $100 that I can purchase food with. But last month, now they went ahead and they allowed for an increase for this month. So I was allowed to get about $298 in SNAP benefits. I was like, oh, cool. I can finally afford to get enough food that will last me the month. And now what do we got? No SNAP benefits here in November. Happy Thanksgiving to you, huh? What are you going to buy? If you get SNAP benefits and there's no SNAP benefits for November, how are you going to have a Thanksgiving dinner with relatives? How are you going to do that? It's almost impossible. You now have people stating that, and it's already started, that they're going to go into these grocery stores. They're going to load up their carts, their shopping carts full of food, and they're going to go right out the door with it and not pay for it. And it's already started. And they're saying that if they can't get food out of these grocery stores, that anyone that is walking out of the store with groceries, they're going to rob you. They say they're going to riot and cause chaos throughout the country. So I would suggest that you have some kind of protection with you if you need to go shopping here in November. I myself am going to be calling radio stations and local news stations, and I'm going to ask you as well to do the same, to not purchase anything on November 1st. Just one day. Don't even go to work if you work. November 1st. Just that one day. Don't go to any store. Don't purchase any gas. Don't get any medication. If you can get it beforehand, fine, get it beforehand. But don't do anything on November 1st. Boycott purchasing anything and boycott all companies, all shopping centers. Boycott Amazon, boycott Wally World, Target, Sam's Club, any of them. Don't purchase any furniture, nothing. Don't even get cigarettes. Don't buy any alcoholic beverages. Don't go to your local pub or restaurant. Boycott it all, everything. Just that one day. Get whatever food supplies you need, get it now. If you can afford to get it now, get it now. Because the month of November is going to be total chaos if this government stays in a shutdown. This is not a good time for we, the people here in America. The Democrats are doing this to create more division, more chaos, rioting, pillaging, you name it. And the Democrats are the ones that are causing all of this evil doings in this country now. This is a time when we could say that if you look and know your history, many companies in countries, not companies, let me take that back. Many countries around our world have had basically, they collapsed. The Roman Empire collapsed. They had done the same thing that's going on right here and now in this country. The average governments run around 200 years before they collapse. Right now, this country is at a tipping point. Either we support Donald Trump and the Republicans, or you can support the Democrats and end socialism, communism, Muslimism, the destruction of America is at hand. And there's going to be a lot of people that, oh no, that'll never happen, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, it will happen. Why I say it will happen? Your average American person cannot sustain a normal lifestyle. We cannot afford the cost of living anymore. It's out of our reach. My parents, when they were on Social Security, when they were alive, they didn't have any problems like we're having here financially today. When they retired, they were comfortable. They were paying their normal bills. They always had food in the house. And they weren't struggling. Now, today, everybody's struggling. You got husband, wife, and children working, and they still cannot keep up with the monthly bills. This is why I'm asking you people to not purchase a darn thing on November 1st. Throughout the whole United States, you as well should contact your local radio stations and news stations and bring it out in the open to boycott purchasing anything in the United States on November 1st. Just that one day. It's time. Excuse me. Let me take a quick break. It's time that we, the people here in the United States of America, rise up. Let our government know that we don't work for them, they work for us. We have our Constitution and Amendment rights in this country. And these politicians are getting further and further away from that. And they're taking your freedom and my freedom away from us. They're taking our privacy away from us. We're losing our freedom of speech on these social media platforms. They're tracking everything you do. Excuse me. They're tracking everything you do, you buy, you talk to. They're censoring everything. on your cell phones. And they're talking about coming out with a stable coin. What's going to happen if they come out with a stable coin? Well, then they can control everything you purchase. They know everything that you will purchase, where you purchase it, when you purchase it. Excuse me again. And then they're going to regulate what you can and cannot purchase. Now, do you like having the government control you? Excuse me, but this is America. It is supposed to be the land of the free. Unfortunately, we're not getting anything for free, and we're losing our freedoms and our liberties and our privacies. Our constitutional rights and our amendment rights are being destroyed right before your eyes. Little by little, they're taking away your freedom. Little by little, you're losing your rights to your privacy, your rights to your freedom of speech. They are going after us as Christian people, but they're praising these Muslims. What happened to America? It is collapsing. And they're trying to take our Second Amendment rights away. Why would they do that? So they can control you. The time has come that we have to stop this. We have elections coming up for our senators and congressional politicians. Let's make it all red. Let's make it all Republican. We might be able to change the outcome of this country. And if we start rising up and voicing our opinions, maybe these politicians in our government will realize that we're not going to take this crap anymore. We have had enough. We're sick of being bullied. We're sick of being used, abused, and working as slaves and being able to own a home. I mean, they're outpricing you on healthcare, on insurance, on rent, mortgage, gasoline, food products. Oh man, I mean, where does this stop? And that's the problem. It hasn't stopped. Prices have continuously risen since 2017. I'm sorry, but I'm not into the World Economic Forum where you own nothing and be happy. No, that's not the American way. Once again, this is a Christian nation. We must keep it a Christian nation. Otherwise, we're no better than any other country on this earth. And this country where we're supposed to have freedom will become a Muslim country like England, and all those other countries over in Europe. I don't want America to be that way. I want this to stay a Christian nation. I want to have my freedoms to do what I want when I want and not have anybody tell me what I can and cannot do. And you should feel the same. Excuse me. Excuse me again. My throat's drying out here. Now, this can go one or two ways here. And I say that because if the government doesn't open up by the 1st of November, then we're in trouble. Not only will you not receive your EBT, you still won't get your EBT for at least 2 or 3 weeks of November if the government does open up, because it takes time for them to move the funds out of the government into the states that produce these SNAP benefits to you. Same with Section 8. Is that going to stay alive or is that going to be cut? Is your SNAP benefits going to be cut or will they remain? I mean, this is as bad as the C-19 bang in the arm. They controlled you all then, and now they're trying to find a way to bankrupt you, make you poor, and make you a slave because wages aren't keeping up with the prices. And that's a big no. You have to remember that $50, $60 years ago, one man, the head of the household, would work and he would make enough to provide for the whole family, purchase land, build a home, own vehicles. Just one man for the whole family of 6. So what's happening now? Totally the opposite. You got the husband, wife, and kids working and they still can't make ends meet to pay bills. So you're a slave to the government because the government hasn't kept the prices low for you to live an affordable life. This is why I say we need to not buy a darn thing on November 1st. Not one thing on November 1st. Stay home, watch TV, do what you want to do, but don't go out. Consider it like a day of rest. Just that one day. If you don't purchase a thing, trust me, the government's going to wake up and say, oh, we just took a big ass slaughtering loss. I guess the people mean business, which we do. Prices need to be lowered all across the board. Prices of new vehicles. Look at, you could buy a vehicle years ago, brand new, for say $5,000. And they were built like tanks. What are you buying for $50,000 to $100,000 today? Something that's made out of aluminum, tin, very, very tinny and plastic, and it crumbles. It folds like crushing a tin can. They made these cars today so that they would be cheaper on gas and diesel. Back when I first started driving, they were built like tanks, and trust me, gas was cheap enough. We'd go ahead and put $5 in a tank. It would fill up the gas tank, and we would cruise around all night, listening to music or going to a local what do you call them, drive-ins where you could sock hops type of thing, and the girls would, the waitresses would have roller skates and bring your food and drinks to you and stuff like that. You'd have drive-ins where you could go ahead and watch movies all night. We had a good time when we were younger. We had freedom back then when we were younger. We don't have no freedom today. All it is big money for everything. They've outpriced everything in this country, and it's ruined this country, and it's causing this country to collapse. Like I stated, I've been on here a little too long. Please do me a favor. November 1st, don't purchase anything anywhere. Wake this government up. It's time for us. And this is a peaceful way to protest. And trust me, it'll wake these politicians up, because if not a darn thing is purchased, guess what? They have no income coming in for them. No taxes, nothing. Just that one day, November 1st. And I don't even know if you want to go out after that for the first couple of weeks, because there's going to be rioting and looting and people people ransacking these stores, trying to steal food. It's going to be pretty crazy out here. So I hope you understand where I'm coming from. Pay attention to these videos here on YouTube. See how people are feeling. See what they want to do. What, or the chaos they want to cause. It's time to pay attention. It's time to wake up. Because if you don't, America's going to collapse. And then once your freedom's gone, you're never going to get it back. And I hope you understand that. On that note, I'm going to say have a good day, morning, noon, or night, whenever you are to watch this video. Please subscribe, like, and share this video. Contact your news and radio stations. Put the word out. Let's get the word out. Let's do something this time, huh? No purchasing of anything at all on November 1st. It's time to make a stand and show this government we, the people, are in control. Not the government telling us what to do. We tell the government what to do. And this is a good way to show force and make things happen. God bless y'all. Have a good day. Prepare, because if things don't get any better, we're all screwed. Take care, everyone. This is Tony D with American Freedom Fighters. Have a good day, morning, noon, or night. Take care. And I'm out. Bye for now. See ya.